Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, the super talented Angela Bassett is here, telling us what it was like to direct the highly anticipated Whitney movie. And TV's toughest celebrity trainer, Jillian Michaels, helps you lose weight and keep your New Year's resolutions. Plus, all of today's extra juicy hot topics. Now, here's Wendy.
I'm doing great. There's a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics! You know it! Come on! My heart is racing. When that man, look, when that announcer man says, I see you, woman. Look, when that announcer man says live from New York, it's the Wendy Williams Show, and then he billboards who's going to be on the show, and then he goes, and now here's Wendy, and the doors fly open. I swear it's like the first day I've ever done this show. It's like such a rush. I am so grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you, my heart. So, you all, I'm really happy for Usher. Usher, I'm really happy for you. Well, it looks like he's getting married. Now, you'll recall Usher is a divorcee, a word that a lot of people don't use, but I love that word. Divorce is not a glamorous thing, but that word divorcee is very glamorous. You know, once upon a time, I was married for 5 months, and these are the things that you do when you're trying to please your parents. You know, you figure, all right, well, what's next in life? I think I'm supposed to get married. Anyway, for 5 months. So we got a divorce, and the best thing about being divorced, other than, you know, letting go of the beast, is when I was dating, I would call myself a divorcee. It's just a fabulous word. We need to bring that back. Anyway, you know, Usher is a divorcee, but he's been reportedly dating his manager, Grace, since 2009. Well, we've known about this. I mean, I've talked about this before. We used to talk about this when I was on the radio. I mean, this has been going on for a minute now. Anyway, Usher's 37, and she is 45. Well, you know what? Not that he needs our approval, but I like this relationship. I'm going to tell you why. Usher already has his 2 little boys by his first wife, Tamika. So what does he care about more kids? I mean, more kids, I guess, would be nice, but Grace is 45. She probably can't have any more kids. She's already a mom, you know, from a previous relationship. So what does she need more kids? Like the kid thing, in other words, is out of the way. This is the thing that women always have to think of when we get involved with younger men. If they have their kids, then maybe we get the green light and continue. If they don't have kids, then don't be a Demi Moore. Otherwise, you get your feelings hurt real quick like Demi Moore with Ashton Kutcher. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, Grace is not just, the woman who shares his bed. She's also the woman who shares in business. She's his manager. Well, you know, what he says is that, you know, in the grinding years, when he was really grinding, everything was about work. Now work has become like a pleasure. They're able to through his work, see the world. You know, while he tours and stuff, and he's with his best friend and his manager and partner and whatnot. And not everybody could be married to their manager, but, you know, I'm married to my manager. Yeah. And you know, and he's also one of the co-executive producers here on the show, and I have to say, it takes a very special maturity on two people's parts in order to put up with your husband or your wife all day in business. A lot of people can't do that. But I think that this is great, Usher and Grace. You know, there comes a time in every man's life and every woman's life sometimes where they feel like they want to make things more permanent. And there's a difference between being a boyfriend and a girlfriend. And so, and I wonder what Mrs. Raymond thinks, because, you know, this girl Grace came into his life and took over where Mrs. Raymond left off. Remember, we've known Usher since he was a little goober. You know what I mean? And his mom and he are very, very close. He was raised in a single family household. Usher has got a younger brother that looks like his twin. So I wonder if Mrs. Raymond likes Grace, and even if she doesn't, you know, Usher seems grown and will go on and do his own. Like, he's not a mama's boy in that sense. He doesn't come across as that type. But one consistency in his life since we've known Usher is that he's always dated older women. Chili is 43. Remember, he was dating Chili from TLC. They were a cute couple. Well, you know, and now she's, of course, with Patty Stanger, the millionaire matchmaker, to try to find... Yeah, she's got, like, no... Chili, to be a cute girl with washboard abs, you must have a ticky boom up here or something, Chili. No, Chili's a friend of the show. I tease her about this. You know, remember, Chili had a reality show, Looking for Love, and she never found love there. And now she's on with Patty Stanger with the millionaire matchmaker, looking for love again. She's got very, very, very high standards, though. And I forgot what the standards were, but I remember last time she was... No. Last time she was here on the show, or maybe the time before that, she's been here a few times, she's our friend. I remember her telling me her standards, and I'm looking at her like, really, girl? Anyway, Chili, but good luck with love. So anyway, so Chili. And then his ex-wife, Tamika, this Usher, is 44 years old. Oh. Yes. And now Grace, his fiancée, soon to be his wife, is 45 years old. So at least he has a type, and his type seems to be an older woman. And the way I look at men who love older women, I don't necessarily look at them as mama's boys or somebody that they want to mother them. I look at it as they want to be with a woman who has full conversation about stuff. I'm not saying that you can't have that when you're 22 years old, but I'm just saying your conversation is different. You know, you're going to class, you're studying for, you know, the LSTATs, you know, you're trying to get into law school or whatever it is that you're doing. Many of you that are smart, the others of you are like, oh my God. And that's cute for 1 or 3 times. But after a moment, I think a man likes full-range conversation. You know, he likes you to go, oh, my God, sometimes. You know, but he also wants to talk about things. And he also wants, you know, something other than a bag of popcorn and some Hawaiian punch after the sex. You know, like a man likes a meal. You know, whether you cook it or whether you know how to gather it. Because we older women, even if some of us don't cook, I cook, but even if some of us don't cook, we at least know how to gather. Yeah. Right? So Usher has a type, and his type is an older woman, and he's getting married to Grace, and Usher, I think that this is terrific. Congratulations. Kris Jenner wants to fix her son, Rob. First of all, Kris, you're the reason that Rob is broken. So why would he return to the scene of the crime? It's a beautiful woman, though, right? Yeah. Kim's gonna be pretty all of her life, right? Yeah. It's a pretty woman. All right. You always have to say something nice before you go back in. Chris, you're very beautiful, but you're very delusional if you think that by Rob moving back into your mansion that you can somehow fix him. Oh, I get it. I know you've got, gourmet chefs that can cook him the proper nutritious food and things. But somehow I don't think that Rob is slumming wherever he is hiding out from the family right now. I mean, I don't know how his socks are doing. I know that they were selling them at the Neiman Marcus. Does anybody here own Rob socks from the Neiman Marcus? No? I think they're called Boy George or... Arthur George. I remember some things. Arthur George. A combination of his middle name and his father's middle name. I know stuff. I read stuff, too. Arthur George socks. Listen, I don't think that money is Rob's problem. I think that Rob's problem is his family, and he said many times, even when he was participating in the show, that, he is like embarrassed by the family behavior, by the family's obsession with fame and looks and things like that, which I guess is why he retreated into wherever he is, and obviously he's eating himself to death. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, I'm saying that in an obvious way. Do you remember what he looked like when he was dating Adrienne Bailon from The Real? I mean, Rob, that's Rob. That's Rob. I mean, and what that is that we're looking at today is, to me, a combination of, overbearing mom and narcissistic sister and stepdad doing his thing. And Lamar has fled the scene, right? And so there's nobody. So he's been living at Chloe's house, right? And I don't think Chris is the one to get him back on track. I think Chloe's busy, it shouldn't be a sister's obligation to get her brother back on track. Rob's got to want to get himself back on track. Now, I don't know what his deal is, but all I know is that, if he wanted to get liposuction or gastric bypass, he could do that stuff, but, or go to the gym, Apparently, he doesn't want to help himself. And some people say that he spun out of control with the combination of the family and then Rita Ora cheating on him with a whole bunch of different... Well, they were dating. And then he put something on social media about her being, cheating many times over with many different people. Didn't call her, a slutty name, but he implied a sluticiousness. And, and my thought... And my thought with that is, Rob, you can't let a woman get you down like that. Just like we, we as women, our hearts break and stuff, but you are allowed to cry for one weekend before you get back out there and make it happen. Chris, and you're not even a hands-on mom. I don't know what you're doing with that 17-year-old. She's running around with a 25-year-old man. She's done stuff to her face. She got the breast implants, what it looks like. I never see her carrying a school book, so the assumption is that she's not in school. You're busy running around with this. How you doing? Let's talk about Miley Cyrus, because I can't understand this right here, right? No, I love Miley Cyrus, but what I don't love is just the basic ability to be smart. It's just a basic. Listen, we all have our dumb ways. I do, you do, we all do. But there's some very basic things. Like when you leave your house, you turn on the alarm. Do you understand what I'm saying? No, I get it, because I was like that, too. Many, many years. Just the alarm's there, but you don't feel like hitting the pad. You know what I'm saying? But, nowadays, you never know where the thief is going to be. It could be why somebody that you invite over to your very house. Here goes Miley Cyrus. Her home has been broken into for the third time within a year. Same house, 3 break-ins within a year. Gee, I wonder who's doing that. They're not sure how the thief got in, but I've got my theory. The thief each time has made off with a lot of stuff. Her bank card, which I guess, how sometimes you just slovenly, leave stuff around, so when the thief comes in, they don't even have to look through stuff. You know, because they're your diamond earrings sitting right there, your bank card, or your new Gucci bag, just sitting right there saying, come on, thief, take me. One time they came in and stole stuff, including her Ferrari in the garage. Now, I smell an inside job. Now, that's all I'm going to say. A lot of times, people are naive or they're in denial. They don't want to accuse their friends of being thieves. That's not me. You come to my house, we're best friends, something's missing, you're a thief. That's it. People come over the house. If I leave the room, I want you to clap, because when you stop clapping, then I know that your hands are idle and you're busy. So you clap and keep clapping until I come back to the room. I'm playing, but not really. Look. So, you know, Miley lives in that big giant house by herself. She has her friends over. But you know what? You don't have your friends over to your house, even if you're not Miley, even if you're just us. You don't have your friends over and leave them freely to roam your house. I don't care if they're not in your... A lot of people only make their bedroom off limits. You know, with me, it's like this. You come to the house, Miley, this is what you do. It's a very big house. Show the aerial view of a house too big for one girl to live in. I'd be scared all night. I'd be thinking that I hear thumps in the night, the cat burglar, something. I couldn't do it. But anyway, here's what you do, Miley. When you invite people to your house, you entertain in the kitchen. I'm sure it's a perfectly lovely kitchen. A couple of Sub-Zero refrigerators in there, a Wolf stove, a gigantic island, you know, a gigantic kitchen table, probably a flat screen TV, maybe a couch or two in there. The kitchen is a very nice place to entertain. That's not where you keep your jewelry. That's not where you keep your credit cards. Although sometimes it is where you keep your car keys. You know, you throw them in that bowl up there. Remove the bowl with the car keys. And then you have your little party. The food is there. The TV is there. All your friends are there. The kitchen's probably the size of the studio. Then, Miley, you don't have your friends just go to any bathroom. I'm sure in a big house like that, there's like 10 bathrooms. But the other 9 are for you, okay? Let me tell you what you do, Miley. Most of the times when houses are set up, they got a big kitchen and the laundry room is off the kitchen, right? All right? And in a lot of cases, there's a bathroom in the laundry room, correct? Including a shower. There might even be a bedroom back there. Just in case somebody gets too drunk, they sleep back there. If anybody has to go to the bathroom, you go to the bathroom back there. You are not to go in my living room. You're not to... Like, in other words, nobody move, nobody gets accused. And Miley, start using your alarm. And don't use your alarm while your friends are standing there. When you use your alarm, don't you go like this even when you're by yourself? Even when you're by yourself, don't you go like this with your alarm? Just in case somebody has a telescope, they're in the woods and they're looking. Oh, sure. People are lurking. They're just waiting to get you. I don't mean to scare you, but they are. Snoop Dogg has got some interesting parenting skills. And he's got a new docu-series that's going to show. I know. Now, only problem is it's going to be on the ESPN, and I don't know where that is on my cable. I'll have to consult somebody. Snoop has a docu-series. It's going to be on ESPN. It's going to be with his son, Cordell, who's trying out for college football teams, and that's the premise. Isn't he hot? Yeah. What, take it easy, he's only Take it easy, Tyga, he's only 17. Anyway, look, this is our hot clip of the day. Roll it.
That's when you strong. When you big and you fast and you strong, you gotta hit it.
21, don't do me like that, cuz. I can't critique you.
I'm more of a friend than I am a father. Because a father to me is someone disciplinary, who you really scared of. It's fear and respect. It's more just love with me.
Everybody trying to see if Snoop Dogg's son can really play football or is he all hype.
good. That looks like a really good show. Hey, doesn't Cordell look a lot like Trey Lorenz, the actor? He does, right? Who is Lorenz Tate? I'm sorry, Lorenz Tate. He's cute, but I like the premise of this. Snoop said he's more of a friend than a father. I think that, you know, I know that the big deal is to say, I am not your friend, I'm your mother. But you know what? These days, what I find in parenting, you have to inject some friendship in there. If you don't inject the friendship part, then you don't find out fangs. Because these kids are up to fangs. And then what you do is you're friends just enough to catch them slipping and telling you something that maybe they wouldn't have told you if you didn't dangle the friend carrot in front of them. You know what I mean? Cordell has an older brother named Corday. And a younger sister named Corey. And then there's one named Julian. Why didn't they just go with the whole thing? Cordell, Corday, Cordy. Do you remember Cord from All My Children? One Life to Live. Remember Cordero? He was messing around with Tina. Anyway, Snoop and Son, A Dad's Dream premieres tonight at 7 on ESPN. We've got more great show for you, everybody. Diet and fitness expert Jillian Michaels is here. And she's going to show us some healthy alternatives to our favorite foods. But up next, the always fabulous Angela Bassett joins us to talk about that new Lifetime movie, Whitney. Don't miss it. On an all-new Wendy, Christina Milian. She dipped it low, and now she's turned up in her new reality show. And winter is here. InStyle brings beauty picks that won't leave you cold. Kiss chapped and dry goodbye.
Tomorrow on an all-new Wendy.
Welcome back. We loved our first guest in films like What's Love Got to Do with It and How Stella Got Her Groove Back. And now she's stepping behind the camera as the director of the highly anticipated Lifetime movie, Whitney. Take a look.
Well, listen, I don't give a damn about award shows, but I can't stand to lose.
Can I let you in on a secret?
Sure.
Me either.
Yeah, that sounds more right.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not sick of hearing about you.
Are you a fan then?
Oh, hell yeah. Somebody have to be deaf and blind not to be.
Whitney, you're on in 5.
All right. Well, as of tonight, I'm a Bobby Brown fan.
Please welcome back to our show, Angela Bassett. Well, it's nice to have you back.
Thank you.
I want to give you some shoe cam. Just keep your feet right there. You have such a youthful look and spirit.
Thank you.
You're just young.
Thank you.
But sophisticated. Yes. I saw that you wore a crop top like a young lady at the Whitney premiere. Look.
Oh,
it's good. No, it's good.
I didn't know the navel was showing.
Well, see, that's the thing. You know, when the navel shows, that means it's really young.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There are a lot of women of a particular age who will show just a sliver of skin because they can't.
That's what I thought I was doing.
No, no, you didn't. But you can do that. Was that your idea or was that Courtney's idea?
Oh, that was, well, if I could claim it, but it was my idea. But he concurred.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he did. So I understand this is your first time directing.
My first time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How did this all come about for you?
Well, I was having lunch one day with the executive producer who produced the Betty and Coretta movie that I did for Lifetime with Mary J. a couple of years back.
Right.
We remained friends. Thank you. And so he's telling me about, after we get through our friendship stuff, what are you working on? And he says he's working on this Whitney movie. And I was like, oh, knowing his integrity and the way he goes about things,
Yes.
I was excited about it because 2 years previous, I wasn't excited about the idea. It seemed too soon, and just, inappropriate at the time. But now with, 3 years later, I thought, oh, wonderful. And he was talking about, trying to find a director. There's a big music component, how difficult that was going to be. And I was like, oh, yeah. Well, let me get home and come up with some names of directors to send you. And I did. And about 2 days, but I said in the process, I said, oh, I wish I could direct it. Just wistfully. Like,
Yes.
I wish I had the experience. I wish I'd gone to film school or for the summer or directed traffic in elementary school.
Yes.
Video or anything.
Yes.
And so he called me 2 or 3 days later and said, did you mean it when you said you wish you could direct? Because I went to Lifetime. I told them I thought you'd be perfect. They called me back in an hour and said, yes, we agree. So we can do it.
Wow. So this opportunity just fell in your lap.
Yeah, into my lap, into my hands.
And where did you guys tape?
We
filmed.
That was my first directorial decision. It was
Okay.
like Toronto or L.A.
Yes.
I said Toronto. I said not Toronto because I knew I'd be going to New Orleans to do American Horror Story.
Right.
And I have twins.
Yes.
So I didn't want to, and they were going to be back-to-back projects. I didn't want to be gone for that length of time. And I said, L.A.
Well, then you worked with Whitney in one of my favorite movies, Waiting to Exhale. What are some of your fond memories of her there on the set?
Oh, look at that big smile. She was just so generous. Her spirit, she was on time, she was professional, she was fun, she was funny.
What did you guys...
She sang easy, We played bid whist.
I was just going to say, what did you do on your downtime? Play bid whist?
Playing bid whist, how we do. We went bowling,
Yeah.
Just regular.
Fun.
Real, yeah.
So now Yaya DaCosta is playing Whitney. How did you decide on Yaya?
Well, I thought she bared a resemblance and she had a regal bearing, about herself. And so it was in my mind. And a friend of mine also, suggested her. And I said, oh, yeah, I remembered her from The Kids Are All Right, from The Butler, of course, from America's Next Top Model.
Yeah.
And so I thought she'd be a great choice, if she could pull it off, get the accent.
Thanks for sending me an advance copy. I watched it.
Oh,
yeah, and I'll be watching it again on Saturday.
Thank you.
Okay, so Bobby Christina, and we do Hot Topics here on the show.
Yes.
We talked about Bobby Christina responding to you over social media. Do you remember that? Weeks ago, I said Bobby Christina is very angry. She wanted to be casted, and so then she got on Twitter and she called you all the way out of your name. Did you read it, or did your people tell you?
No, I didn't.
But your people
told me a little bit, I think. I think they spared me most of it.
It was very disrespectful.
Okay, well, no, I didn't read it, and it's probably best. I'm sure it's best because things like that hurt your feelings.
Yes,
and they don't really mean it before you say sin.
Yes, Did you know that she wanted to be in the movie?
I did not. As a matter of fact, we were filming for a week. I did an interview on set during lunch, and the interviewer mentioned that, and did I know? And I said, so I was sort of, I was just shocked. Oh, really?
Yes.
We had an open casting. Any of you could have auditioned.
We really did. We talked about this movie on Hot Topics. I was even saying that I was talking about how the family, Whitney's family, was against this movie being done on TV. They wanted it more regal, big screen.
They wanted a big screen.
But I was telling the family through TV that you don't understand, some of the biggest movies, the best stuff is now on TV, not in the movie theaters.
Right.
And that's just the way it is.
I know, people, it's easy at home. Turn your TV on,
Yes.
They're trying to, getting people to the cinema. I know myself, I always need to go to check that movie out. But life comes up.
Life comes up, and it's just easier to sit at home and watch Lifetime.
Absolutely.
So I heard that you showed it to Dionne Warwick, her cousin.
I did.
And what did Dionne say?
Well, I was in town maybe a couple months ago for American Horror, and I was at Huffington Post. And they have the little scroll in the dressing room. Oh, okay, I'll be on in 2 minutes. And then I see immediately after me, Dionne's going to be on the show. And I said, oh, Whitney, girl.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
because things like that were constantly happening. And after me, she came in, and I just embraced her. Because when the Bobby Christina thing happened, Miss Dion reached out to me and sent me an email saying, you know these kids.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, and Whitney would,
Yes.
wouldn't want you to be upset about that. So
Yes.
it was like, thank you. I don't mean cause any upset on it.
Yes, that's nice. Now,
So I told her, I've done this movie, and I will come to New Jersey and show it to you.
Yes.
I will come and show you. And she said, here's my number, and I was able to do that.
Now, I don't want to give any of the movie away, but I will say that, in that short 2 hours that the movie was, you really answered some pretty important questions and accusations that have been made regarding Bobby and Whitney and their life together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I understand that you had to pick a 5-year timeline in her life.
Well, initially, before I came on, there was a script written, and it was one of those cradle to the grave.
Yeah.
Yes. From birth to death.
Yes, you can't do that in 2 hours.
For 84 minutes with commercials, a complicated life.
Yes.
2 lives. And everyone else, it was impossible. So there was just, a moment where they were at their best.
Yes.
We know how the story ends, unfortunately.
Yes.
We don't need to go there. And that was instrumental in me saying yes.
You did it very tastefully, Angela. One more thing. Doug, okay, let me just ask one more thing. Bobby didn't have the gap in his teeth. It didn't bother me, but it might bother you. I'm just letting you know
If you're
now.
looking to be bothered by something,
You always are. No, he did not have the gap in the teeth. Did you try?
Listen, by the time I said yes, we had 21 days to film this movie. The prep is usually about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I think we had about 4.5.
Oh,
then
crap.
it's like, let's get going.
Yeah.
I think we read the script. We read 12 pages of the script before we started shooting because now costume needs you. Now this person needs you. Now makeup needs to do a test. On and on and on. We tried with the gap, but when it came back the day before shooting, it looked like a black Sharpie.
So there is no gap. And by the way, Deborah Cox, you are a star. That singing,
Isn't she?
What? Deborah
So
Cox's
important.
voice is dubbed over doing the Whitney, and then Yaya's just mouthing it. Very nice job, Angela Bassett, everybody. Whitney airs this Saturday at 8 on Lifetime. Up next, Jillian Michaels is here, and she's going to help us lose weight and get healthy, so don't go far. Angela, it was a great job. Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm having the best time today. All right, so there's no denying that everyone loves to eat, but finding the healthy alternatives to some foods is paramount. So here to help us is one of my favorite fitness experts in the world. Please welcome our friend Jillian Michaels back to the show. So nice to see you.
You too.
I missed you on The Biggest Loser.
Aw, I know.
I'm just saying.
I know. I miss the work, but I think everything runs its course. It was 10 years, a long time.
Was it that long?
It was a long time. It was a long time.
Okay, so let's talk about what you do best. Help us.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think what happens is people begin a weight loss regimen, a health regimen, and they go to these dramatic extremes and they try to cut out carbs, they cut out fat, and it's not necessary. 2 things we need to think about. Food quantity. Don't eat so much food, common sense, and food quality. Don't eat things that are not food. Fake fats, fake colors, etc.
Okay.
So, common sense, right? So let's look at carbs, for example.
All right.
We don't need to cut out carbs. What we want to do is make the healthier carb options. So instead of the white flour, the processed grain...
And something so big.
Well...
Why is it? I mean, the bagel's huge.
It is huge, but if it was healthier, believe it or not, it would be fine. You can even have 2 halves of like a whole grain or a sprouted
English
grain
muffin.
Exactly. With like a fruit spread is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the quality. So like pasta, for example.
How many calories are we saving here?
Okay, well, here we're actually saving, you have it all written down here, 132 calories just on that switch.
Now, okay.
Yeah, on that switch alone.
There you go. All right, let's move along.
Okay, so same situation here, to be honest. We just have Jerusalem artichoke pasta instead of bleached white flour.
Do we have to go to Jerusalem to get that?
We do not.
Where do we go? Is it in Jersey?
It will be in Jersey.
Okay, good.
Or spelled the quinoa.
Yep, just saying.
Yes, no, we don't have to. No. Accessible. It is totally accessible.
Look at how many calories are we saving?
With this, it's 55 calories. But again, I want you to think about what is metabolism? It's your hormone balance, how we burn fat, when we burn fat, etc. So insulin is a bad hormone when it comes to weight gain, and processed carbs drive up insulin.
Okay.
So you're saving 55 calories, but in reality, you're saving way more because you're amping up your body's ability to burn more calories.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a big deal.
Okay.
So for years we've thought red meat is the devil. It's not at all the case. The case here is, again, the quality of the food. So right now, grass-fed beef has become very trendy.
Yeah, Sean T was here the other day, and he said
he's right.
Grass-fed.
He's absolutely right. So first of all, if we look at this steak, right, you can see all the fat marbled through it. Now, this is... You're not helping. This is your show.
I'm
Can
just
you
saying,
be helpful?
But I'm just saying.
Be helpful. This is bad.
I like fat.
No, this is your body on this cow.
Okay.
Okay, so grass-fed, we see how lean.
No, you're
and
right.
It's filled with heart-healthy fat, which is really good for you. This is actually inflammatory fat, so omega-3 fat, good. Omega-6 fat, bad. 900 calories difference here.
And I have
to say, thank you.
Yes, and also, instead of white potatoes, you're sweet potatoes.
Exactly.
And look at all the calories you're saving.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about snacking, because we love to snack.
And we shouldn't give it up. We should not give it up.
No.
Again, we go back to quality. So, you know, you reach your hand in a bag of chips. Brand names will not be happening because none of us want to get sued here. So you reach your hand in a bag of chips,
right.
You pull out a ton of grease. We all know these bad brands, right? Go with something like whole grain crackers and cheese instead of processed flour, cheese out of a can.
And I notice you have the baked chips, which aren't as delicious, but, you know, if you want to get the job done.
You will adapt. Here's what's delicious. Healthy is delicious. Skinny jeans.
Nothing tastes as good as skinny does.
Okay?
Okay. All right.
Perspective. That's what I'm looking for.
And I love a cheese and cracker. They're telling us to keep it moving. Come
okay,
on,
keep it moving.
Candy.
Yes. Not that one. No. No. This one here. So.
Oh, that's good.
With sugar, the idea is don't allow more than 20% of your daily calorie allowance to come from sugar. So every day, incorporate a treat food. Don't wait for the weekend and binge like a wild animal coming out of hibernation. And when you choose something that's just sugar, not fake sugar, fake color, fake flavor.
So these are the real gummies, and then these are the good for you gummies.
These are the. Well, these are the real gummies.
This is the junk, and this is the. These are good.
Yeah, and for example, this is colored with beet juice. It doesn't taste like beets. Don't worry. This is ink that comes out of a pen. It's red number 40. So it's actually not just about your waistline. It's also about your health. And when we talk about things like cancer,
okay,
you know, this is not.
Come on, we need a drink.
I know. Okay. I know. Sorry. All right. We need a drink. We do. Now. Alcohol, in truth, while it is a ton of fun, should absolutely be your #1 indulgence, as in have it very rarely.
Okay.
It's #1 enemy when it comes to weight loss because of how it affects our metabolism, and the calories are off the chain.
And
so,
a lot of sugar.
Tons. So when you're going to drink, go with a straight alcohol on the rocks or something calorie-free. Vodka soda, tequila on the rocks with lime. So the margarita, for example, is, here we go, 455 calories for the margarita, 128 for the tequila on the rocks, and you're saving 327 calories a drink.
That's terrific. Listen, they're playing the music. We're being cut off. Jillian, thank you so much. Don't be a stranger, girl. Jillian Michaels, everybody. For more information on these tips and Jillian's work with curves, go to wendyshow.com. Ask Wendy is next. You know what?
There's a lot of people that do Hot Topics, but nobody does it better than Wendy Williams.
On an all-new Wendy, George Lopez. Plus, what will everyone be talking about this weekend? You know I'm the Hot Topics lady, and I've got to give my opinion. Hit it!
Friday on an all-new Wendy.
We're back. It's time for Ask Wendy. Hi, baby.
Hi, Wendy. My name is Elizabeth. How you doing?
How you doing, Elizabeth? Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How far along are you?
8.5 months.
Okay, so, yeah.
Thank you. My husband and I are expecting our first child.
Congratulations.
And my dad is super excited because it's his first granddaughter.
Okay.
And we're having a home birth. And he recently asked if he could record the birth. And I said no. We said no, and he got upset. And now I feel so bad.
So?
So should I grant him his wish of recording his or should I stand my ground?
Stand your ground. Nobody wants their father seeing that down there. I mean, do you have maybe a girl cousin or some? I mean, we can get this done, but it has to be. Who's going to be in the birthing area?
The grandmother also.
The grandmother.
Yeah.
Can the grandmother? Oh, she won't want to hold the camera. She wants to see the live action.
They all want to be right there.
Well, listen. Find a female cousin or a female in your family. Don't hire a strange videographer or something like that. But even under the circumstances of birth, Dad cannot see below the equator. Good luck and congratulations. Up next, everybody, I'm going to challenge an audience member in a game of Race the Clock, so don't go far. Do you want to be my next co-host? Okay, good. Go to wendyshow.com, request your free tickets, and be a part of my studio audience. Make sure you're dressed to impress. I can't wait to see you. I'm socializing with Brianna. She's a nursing student in Los Angeles, California. She's only in New York for one day just to come to our show. Look, all right, Brianna, you've got 30 seconds to race the clock, okay? American Idol, don't help her, is currently in its 14th season. Name 4 past winners. And go!
Black bald guy. CeeLo. No. Simon Cowell.
I said winners.
Jennifer Hudson. Kelly Clarkson. Bruce.
4 of them.
Kelly Clarkson. Carrie Underwood.
One more.
Ruben
Congratulations, Brianna. We're sending you home with a Google Nexus 9 tablet. Here you go. Thank you for coming to our show. Eye candy is next. This is Vivian, everybody, and she's my eye candy of the day because I love your look. Quickly tell us about your easy breezy look.
Well, the shirt's from Forever 21, sorry. It's $30, and my pants were from Topshop, $84. Shoes from Topshop as well, $160 plus tax.
You're giving me Solange and Stacey Ellis Ross. Vivian, here's your diva fan, and we will be right back. It is hot in here. What a mess. Look, tomorrow on the show, Christina Milian is stopping by, plus InStyle Magazine is joining us with their winter beauty picks. I love you for watching today. Thank you, co-host. And I'll see you next time on Wendy. Bye. How you doing?